Well, another day, another
Dollar?
another day, another time with the Fiat 126, Nikki. And today I'm with Mark, and as promised, he's going to take us on a dyno to see how much power it doesn't have.
Yes.
Yes.
This should be interesting. First problem is to make sure it actually fits, because the dyno is sort of built for normal size cars.
For the kids playing at home, what is a dyno?
So a dyno is basically like a rolling road, so you drive the car without moving anywhere, and it measures how much power and torque the engine has.
Awesome. And where are we doing it?
We're doing it at NA Autosport. This is a friend of mine, Nick Ashwin. I work out of here mostly. He mainly deals with Evos and like cool stuff. So
But he hasn't had anything as cool as the Fiat.
Oh, I'm not sure about that statement at all. But basically, we're going to run it. Now, these things as factory should have 17.7 kilowatts. I include the 0.7 because percentage-wise, it's actually quite a fair bit of the power. So we're going to see what it actually does at the wheels. Now, flywheel horsepower and wheel horsepower are different. So realistically, with 17.7 kilowatts of the engine, the actual wheel reading will be less than that, and that's just normal. So I'm thinking about somewhere between 12 or 13 kilowatts at the wheels, which is
which translates to?
Well, let's just say like most Corollas would probably have 100.
Hey, the GPS said it would take me 20 minutes to get here. I got here in 15.
Right, okay, so
I did get every green light all the way.
Certainly helps.
All right, let's put it in and let's see how it goes. Don't forget to subscribe, like and share to keep seeing these. Any last
I was
words?
just sort of thinking, my learner restricted motorbike has more than double the power of this car.
But you don't look as cool in it.
Right. So
Please don't break it over there though, because I have no other way of getting home.
Oh, you've got to sign a disclaimer, man. Like if this thing's burnt to flames.
Don't forget to subscribe, like and share. This is going to be probably one of the coolest vlogs I've done. Come on, you can do it. It takes a while. That's one of the things we need to fix. Let's go and see how it goes. So it fit.
Does
Right
fit.
at the edge as well.
Yeah. Guess we're not doing that.
It's too short for that too.
That's very interesting.
Oh, we could just pick it up and move it across.
Just one.
Maybe we bounce it and then give it a push.
Ready and.
Like it's I think it's on the
Yeah,
bolt, stuck in the bolt there.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, so safety first. If you get caught in those, we hose you out and then just ignore you wherever here.
It's game over, man. It's game over.
Evo 8.
We'll just get rid of the Evo 8 for the...
Yeah.
How do you spell it? M-A?
Maluch.
Our first problem is that the exhaust has been crushed, and being a very, very low power car, our actual lambda sensor, which measures how much fuel we're using, and there's certain parameters that we want to stay within with that, but the pipe we use for that is bigger than the exhaust on the Maluch. So it's yeah.
So we're cutting off the exhaust.
We're chopping some of the exhaust off to see if I can get it to work.
That was pretty scary.
Just over 15 kilowatts at the back wheels, which is pretty much on par with what the factory says it should. It's quite rich though. I'm going to end a ramp run with the choke on now and see what happens.
Stalled it.
No, I didn't.
Yeah. So for some reason the car's losing power in first gear. I think it went a little bit too fast. I've got no way to get home, so I hope we can fix it. So we may have found a possible solution, which is 2 new spark plugs. The funny thing is, it's really hot and I'm really thirsty, so we decided to buy a couple bottles of Coke. The spark plugs were $8.22 and the 2 bottles of Coke were $8.06. That doesn't make any sense. So what do we think the problem is?
Well, it's, as Nick said, is the other thing I suspect is that I always thought it was running lean, but like you can't even open the throttle at all without it wanting to die, which is a mixture problem. So it's probably a blocked carburetor.
So we've pulled out the carburetor. Apparently it's dirty. Is that right, Nick?
Yes, correct.
Dirty. She's a dirty girl.
Say again?
Actually, it might be just something off the outside of the carburetor, but she's not a classy environment.
Lay it in on the bench. Just try and get it under. Yep.
See a little brass thing down the bottom?
Yep.
It's got a big chunk of stuff in it.
Yeah.
That shouldn't be there.
Right.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll now get 17
Yeah, we can get a real splitter of it.
Big chunk of silicon or rubber or something was blocking the main jet in the carburetor. So the other thing the carburetor has is it's got to mix the air and the fuel properly and allow it to drain through. So it's got all these little orifices and stuff. If you block them up and the fuel doesn't flow properly, or it runs lean, it runs rich, it doesn't run nice.
So it just means several problems at the same time.
I think what it looks like is
Next one. It's the idle circuit.
it's the idle circuit. So basically, the fuel pump fills this bit full of fuel, right? Now, once it's too full, this floats up and blocks off the path for the fuel to get in. So you never, which is exactly like a cistern in a toilet.
So here we go. Everything's back together. Here we go. Okay, she started. Yeah, how much power did we make now?
So we made 16 kilowatts.
There you go, we're at 15 and a half before.
Yep.
You're a miracle worker. That's an extra horse.
So we went from an amazing 15 and a half to 16 kilowatts by fixing the carburetor.
Whoa, very nice.
So
I reckon if we put a Motec on it.
if we put a Motec on it, like the weight would make it slower anyway.
Well, it works, and it works even better. We've made an extra kilowatt, which translates into what?
It's actually about 6% gain in horsepower.
Uber Eats driver, here we go.
Yeah.
So, thank you, Mark. Thank you, Nick, for letting us use your workshop. That was really, I mean,
Thanks for
you've
helping
got
us
some,
rebuild the dyno, or
Yeah,
the carburetor.
I mean, you've got some pretty impressive cars here, but this must be the most impressive car you've had so far.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Overwhelming the amount of power it makes.
It's not just about power. It's about the smile it brings. Look at how you're smiling.
Smiles for the girl in your
Yeah, smile.
You drive it and everyone just smiles. It's
It
hilarious.
costs me nothing to run it, so yes, I'm very happy with it. Anyway, don't forget to subscribe, like and share. I'm going to go and take this for a drive and hopefully not need RACQ on the way home. Thanks, Nick. Check out the shop up the top. It's a great place. Well, it works really well. I mean, it's still noisy, but the power, like, I don't know what it is, but it just runs cleaner and better. So thank you, Mark. You've really made a difference. Even 6%. But just wait, like, I don't have to use the choke anymore to start it. The fact that, you know, the carburetor is all cleaned up. It's like a new car now. Next thing I need to do is get a wheel alignment on it. Because Nick said that the noise coming out of it is most likely needs a good wheel alignment. So I'll go and book it in this week and get it all fixed up as well. Hopefully they'll be able to fit it. It's a fun car to drive. It does bring me a smile when I'm driving it. Obviously it doesn't have the power of my motorbike, but everyone's just having a good look at it as I'm driving it, so it's definitely fun, a lot of fun. Next thing, we need to sort out the gears, because putting it in gear and all that is very challenging at times.